Let us see about the bell stage of tooth development. So we already know that the stages are referred based on the shape of the enamel organ. So in the bell stage, the enamel organ is in the shape of a bell. That is why it is called as the bell stage. Why does this bell shape come? How does the enamel organ achieve this bell shape? Okay. Initially they thought it is because of the pressure which is exerted by the dental papilla cells on the enamel organ. But later it was found that this pressure is counteracted by the pressure exerted by the fluid within the enamel organ. Okay. So this theory is proved to be wrong. Now they have found out that the bell shape is achieved because of two things. One is differential rate of mitosis and difference in the differentiating time. What does it mean? It means that not all cells divide at the same rate and not all cells differentiate at the same time. So for any cell to differentiate, it should stop dividing. First the cell will stop dividing, then only it will differentiate. So they say that the dividing cells will all push the cells that have differentiated. Okay, so that's how these differentiated cells, they are initially pushed and the cuspal tips are formed. The future cuspal tips are formed. Similarly, all the cuspal tips are formed, and the cells to stop dividing last and to differentiate last are the cervical loop cells and also the cells at the depth of the sulcus. Okay, so these are the cells which are going to stop dividing last and differentiate at the last. Okay, we also need to know in the bell stage two other terms. What are they? It is the terms morphodifferentiation and the terms histodifferentiation. As the word morpho, from the word morpho we can understand it has got something to do with the shape. So the cells in the bell stage only, the enamel organ, they will get or acquire their final shape. So in which shape the crown is going to be present, in that shape it is acquired in the bell stage. And what does the term histodifferentiation mean? That is, any cell is going to achieve its final distinctive phenotype. That is, the cells of the inner enamel epithelium will become ameloblast and the cells of the dental papilla are going to become the odontoblast. So that is the process of histodifferentiation. These two are the important processes which are going to happen in the bell stage. Now let us see about the early bell stage. Okay, what happens in the early bell stage? This is the dental lamina and the enamel organ is now in the shape of a bell. Okay, we all already know certain terms. What are they? They are the inner enamel epithelium, the outer enamel epithelium and the stellate reticulum. Okay, now we are going to come across a new term called as stratum intermedium. We will see what does this stratum intermedium means. Okay, yes, here in this bell stage the cells of the inner enamel epithelium are short columnar. Okay, they are not yet become tall columnar and they have their nucleus situated in the center. Okay, now the cells of the outer enamel epithelium are low cuboidal. Okay, they haven't become flattened, they are low cuboidal with a centrally based nucleus, and the cells of the stellate reticulum are also present, which are again star shaped cells. in the stellate reticulum, what is the change present in this early Bell stages? There is increased in the intercellular fluid. Okay. And now this term stratum intermedium, as the name suggests, it is an intermediate layer between what? Between the inner enamel epithelium and the stellate reticulum. So it is a layer of 2 to 3 layers of squamous cells. Okay. And the cells of the stratum intermedium are rich in acid mucopolysaccharides. It means they have a metabolic function. Okay, this is about the cells of the enamel organ. Now, the cells are in the inner enamel epithelial cells. They are in the pre-ameloblast stage, that is, they are short columnar with a centrally placed nucleus. And in the ameloblast, when they become ameloblast, when they differentiate into that, they become tall columnar, and there is reversal of polarity of the nucleus. That is, the nucleus are pushed towards the side of the stratum intermedium. Now we need to know how does this dental papilla will appear. There is condensation of the fibers of the dental papilla present. Okay, the fibers here, they become densely condensed, and in the next stage, that is in the late Bell stage, they are going to differentiate into odontoblast. These mesenchymal cells are going to differentiate into odontoblast. And the cells of the dental sac, they start aligning themselves in circular fibers. Okay, these fibers, after the formation of the root, they get inserted into the cementum and the alveolar bone. All these structures are at the light microscopic level. Okay, let us see about the dental lamina and the fate of the dental lamina. A dental lamina is told to be active for a period of 5 years. Okay, so at the early Bell stage, after the early Bell stage, the dental lamina usually disintegrates, separating the enamel organ from the overlying epithelium. So, but still the process of tooth development will keep continuing. Once the tooth is ready for its development, for its eruption, the overlying oral epithelium has to be penetrated. But after the penetration of the overlying oral epithelium by the fully formed tooth, the integrity of the epithelium is lost. It is no more a continuous layer, so it cannot be left as such. For that, there is going to be something called as the junctional epithelium, which is formed over the erupted tooth. Now, this fragmented dental lamina, it remains as epithelial pearls. Okay, these epithelial pearls are the dormant cells, but sometimes upon any activation they can result in certain abnormalities. What are they? It is the formation of the eruption cyst. So the cyst is formed and there is delay in the eruption of the underlying tooth, or it can result in the formation of odontomes, or it can also result in the formation of supernumerary teeth. Okay, this is the fate of the dental lamina. Let us see about the late Bell stage, which is otherwise called as the advanced Bell stage. Okay, what and all happens in this late Bell stage? The enamel organ is no more attached with the dental lamina. Okay, and what and all are the changes that are going to happen in the cells? We will see one by one. Okay, yeah. Now the cells of the inner enamel epithelium will now become tall columnar. Okay, they are now tall columnar, and their nucleus are towards the side of the stratum intermedium. When they achieve this phenotype, then they are called as the amyloblast. But for them to differentiate into this amyloblast, they need this reciprocal induction. It is both are going to induce each other, the process of reciprocal induction. So they need the presence of dentin. Okay, only when dentin is present, this inner enamel epithelial cells will differentiate into amyloblast. Okay, for the dentin to be formed, the cells of the dental papilla should now differentiate into odontoblast. Okay, so how will they differentiate into odontoblast? For them to differentiate into odontoblast, they need the presence of some growth signals from the cells of the amyloblast. So these cells of the inner enamel epithelium. So the cells of the inner enamel epithelium will send some growth signals to the cells of the dental papilla, and they will differentiate into odontoblast, and these odontoblasts in turn will produce the first layer of the dentin, which is called as the predentin. Okay, where does this predentin is formed first? It is first formed at the cuspal tips and the incisal edges. Okay, and they mark the future dentino-enamel junction. Okay, once this predentin is formed, the inner enamel epithelial cells are fully developed and differentiated into the amyloblast, and the first layer of enamel will be formed. Now, what happens to the cells of the stellate reticulum and those of the outer enamel epithelium? The outer enamel epithelium, by now, it will start to throw itself into foldings. Okay, that is, there is infolding of this outer enamel epithelium. Why does this infolding occur? It is because, and also there is collapse of the stellate reticulum layer. It is because the inner enamel epithelial cells receive their nutritional supply from only the cells of the dental papilla. But once this layer of the dentin is formed, they don't receive their nutrient from the blood vessels of the dental papilla. So to compensate for that, the outer enamel epithelium throw themselves into fold, and also this stellate reticulum will collapse, and the distance between the blood vessels present in the dental sac and also the inner enamel epithelial cells will reduce, thereby getting their nutritional supply. This is the stratum intermedium. And next, what we need to know is the dental sac, the dental follicle fibers. They arrange themselves as circular fibers during the late bell stage. These are the later differentiate into the periodontal fibers, which will insert themselves into the cementum and into the alveolar bone.